What up? Episode 39, post draft. Fucking Shedure falls like a rock. Holy moly.
Hey, your team still don't have a quarterback, while the Cleveland Browns got two of them things.
They got Joe Flacco, no? They got like three guys right now.
And
Four
Kenny
guys.
Pickett. They got a whole fucking room
And
with
hey, mark my
DTR in there
words.
too.
Mark my words. They'll still find a way to fuck this up. Mark my words. Um,
Oh
Shedore
man,
falls like a rock. Jimmy Butler's playing through injuries. Last year at this time, I'm pretty sure he was in a bar talking about what would have happened if he would have played. I don't know.
yeah,
It's a
that's
wild,
exactly what he was doing.
it's a wild time in sports. Playing through injuries at Golden State. Golden State's fucking checks cash better. It sounds like
I
Florida ain't even got sales tax or income tax. I
income
don't know.
tax. Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. It don't
Buddy's
make no
tweaked.
sense.
I ain't gonna
Don't
hold
make
you.
no sense. Don't make no sense. I'm a bad guy for hating Jimmy Butler though. As a Heat fan, I'm a bad guy.
Hey, you were saying trade him this time last year. I think get rid of him. Get rid
I
of him.
was.
And now
Hey,
it's on to somebody else. I think.
oh yeah, Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero, pack your bags, pal. I would send his ass to the North Dakota G Force if I could.
So what I'm getting at is I think Tyler Hero will be gone by May 1st of next year. All right.
Maybe. They
All right.
did just give him a contract extension last August, so
I don't care.
probably probably gonna be a little hard to get somebody to pick up $50 million from a fucking
It's the
scrub.
NBA, dog. They make that shit happen. I don't know. You never know how they make that shit happen. But who was it? Chris Paul and somebody else couldn't team up.
Chris Paul, Kevin Durant, and Devin Booker.
That was the trio back in the day that the
In
NBA
Phoenix.
said,
In
"Whoa."
Oh no, that was Kobe. Chris
Oh,
Paul and Kobe.
they said,
So
"No, can't do that."
now the thing behind that was David Stern, the league as a whole owned the New Orleans Pelicans or the Hornets. They were the Hornets at the time. They
What do you
didn't
mean
have an
they
owner.
owned it? Owned them.
They didn't have an owner.
Mm.
So the league owned it. It was a league owned
Some of
team.
that, like Washington Commanders type stuff, huh?
Yeah, probably. You know.
Nice.
And the league said it would not be good if New Orleans did not have a star. So that is why the trade was declined. Yeah, yeah. Oh, and mind you, this was after Kobe won a title in '08. I'm pretty sure that was the year that after he won a title. Yeah, yeah. You know, shout out David Stern. R.I.P. that guy.
Bro,
David Stern's NBA was
that's
so much better than
whoa. Hold on. That's one of the most obscene things I've ever heard in my life. Um,
yeah,
listen,
yeah.
I I saw a thing here that let me try to find it again. Gosh damn. That I 100% understand not signing those quarterbacks right now because of the capital we got in next year's draft. But we got like two or three third round picks, like a six, two fifths, bro. It's insane. Hold on.
Man, all I know is the DJ Moore draft or the DJ Moore trade is finally complete. And let's just say, guys, the Chicago Bears got a whole lot better. While we only got Bryce Young,
But all right,
uh, they got they got a haul.
the Steelers got a third, a fourth, a fifth, and 2/6. That's insane.
Run that by me one more time. I'm sorry, I was googling
They
something
got
right quick.
they got a third, a fourth, a fifth, and 2/6.
Okay.
That's
I mean,
bananas, bro.
You guys have to pick a quarterback next year in Pittsburgh, right? The draft
Early.
is in Pittsburgh. They gotta pick a QB next year, right? Speaking of, are we gonna speak it into existence? Are the boys gonna be there next
I'll
year?
be there. I'll be there at least Thursday. No questions.
Boys trying to do a show at the draft.
It's pulling a Wi-Fi signal is going to be expensive to say the least. But I'll
Yeah,
do
yeah.
everything I can.
The so the DJ Moore Bryce Young trade is finally complete for all the Bears and Panthers fans out there. Um, the Carolina Panthers, we got Bryce Young for DJ Moore. The 2023 first round pick for the Bears was Darnell Wright. The 23 selection was Tyreek Stevenson in the second. Shout out to Tyreek Stevenson. He was the one from the Commanders game. Um,
That's
they
crazy.
got Caleb Williams last year. And then the second round pick in 25 this year was who a lot of people said pre-season last year, pre-college football season last year, was the best receiver in college football, Luther Burden from Missouri at 39. So, um, you know, that's that's honestly not a bad haul from the Bears. Um, you know, we can get right into it with the draft winners and losers if you want, man. Um,
Who do you think won?
you're gonna hate me for saying this. The Baltimore Ravens got a whole hell of a lot better than a lot of teams think. Um, Malachi Starks, everybody was projecting him to go very, very high first round for a safety around the Kyle Hamilton area, that 14 to 18 range. They got him at 27, and that's a little scary. Mike Green is their second round pick. A lot of people had him touted as the best pure edge rusher in the draft. Um, just had a bunch of legal issues, and I'm gonna go all the way to the sixth round. They have a wide receiver selection, and we're gonna get into it too. Um, they got Lejante Wester from Colorado, and I think that's an automatic upgrade for a team that we always say like they need outside playmakers to kind of help spread the field. And Wester's going to give you 10 to 12 yards a catch, and he's also a hella hella amazing punt returner. So you get a special teams player, you get a solid guy that can go out there, play a little slot, play a little outside. I think the Ravens are one of my teams that won. Um, I feel like we say this every year with them too. Like
Bro,
they seem to nail they seem to nail
Linderbaum
the
a few
draft
years
every
ago,
year.
that was insane. I really wanted that guy. Couldn't
Yeah,
get him.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's just one though. I mean, that's one team. I really
Bro,
like what the Raiders did too.
the Jacksonville Jaguars. A lot of people are gonna hate me for that. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars definitely saw a generational player and gave up generational things for him, and he's done nothing but deliver to this point. I don't think it's going to be 100% snaps in any direction. There will be a balance to it. It will be whatever comes probably more natural, and whatever side needs the most help the soonest, depending on an injury. You never know what could happen. It is the NFL. They could make some trades here to make up for that capital that they lost to, and sign some other guys and shuffle the depth chart around, and then that might help him decide where he starts out his NFL career, and he is Travis Hunter. I don't know. It's definitely a lot, and it definitely opens the eyes, and everybody's like, "Whoa!" And he's a guy that's worth that, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you think?
Um, First off, the Cleveland Browns got a fucking haul for the number 2 overall pick. Um,
You got to remember
they
they're making up for the Deshaun Watson mistakes too.
they have to, they got to. I think that's why they went double quarterback too. If you want my honest opinion, um, I don't think Deshaun Watson plays a snap this year. Probably not gonna happen, and they'll end up releasing him after this year. Um, Yeah, man. I think Jacksonville had to take a swing on a guy that could benefit the secondary and benefit Trevor Lawrence too, because this is the make or break year for Trevor Lawrence. He's going into the 5th year of his rookie deal, I believe, or did he get an extension already? He might have got an extension
I think he
already.
got an extension last year, two
It
years
might
ago.
might might be the last year of his extension or whatever. I know it's gonna be. This is the last year to tell whether or not he's a starting quarterback in the NFL. I know that much. As bad as it is to say that, um, they had to go. They had to go with someone that could benefit both sides of the ball. Though I mean, we talked about if they stuck at 5, they would have got Mason Graham, and Mason Graham on that front line would have been hell. I think the Browns getting Mason Graham at 5, that's an inside guy that's going to be hard to run on with Miles Garrett on the edge too.
Bro,
Um,
he said that they had him first get into the facility. He said, "You think 95 is available for my number?" They said, "Nah, I don't think that one's going to be available anytime soon."
55 will be available though,
It's
kid.
not.
55 isn't either.
Uh-uh.
Wow,
Maybe
wow.
Zadarius Smith.
Ah, I mean, hey, it's another freak they got on the
Vet.
outside too. Another freak they got
Yeah.
on the outside too. Um,
I
I
mean,
like what the Browns did personally in the draft.
mhm.
Harold Fannin Jr., Bowling Green, the number 1 receiver in college football last year had 1,555 yards receiving. Harold Fannin was that guy. As a tight end, he led the country in receiving yards. He's a freak athlete. He's a it's gonna be interesting to see what they do with him as far as putting him in the box and seeing if he can block, how physical he is. I love the Judkins pickup in the second round. Um, I thought he fits what they're gonna try to do as far as physically running the ball. I we ain't got to talk too much about Quinshon Judkins. Um, and the linebacker pick from UCLA, Carson Schweisinger, he's a good pickup too. Um, the Browns limited selections. They're gonna have a lot of selections next year. They'll get a first. They'll get another first next year from Jacksonville, and I mean we both know what Jacksonville can do. Jacksonville can easily shit the bed, and that'd be a top 5 pick again. So you trade back from 2, and you possibly get 2 top 10 picks in the next 2 excuse me, in the next two years. So, you know, I think the Browns and the Ravens, the AFC North had a good draft personally. Um you got any more winners?
Uh, Simmons to the Chiefs. That's huge. Um, I don't know. Will Campbell for Drake May is big.
I got a lot of Patriots friends. Got a lot of Patriots friends. Just let me tell you how upset they were with that Will Campbell pick. Let me tell you how upset they were with that Will Campbell pick. They did not like that at all. Um, yeah.
Why?
Something about the tackle with short arms. Did not like the tackle with short arms.
How you feeling about old Tet McMillan?
If you guys saw the stream the other night, when the Carolina Panthers selected Tetaroa McMillan out of Arizona, I left. Um, I had to let a little rage out because we had the guy. The guy was there. The guy was there. I wanted Jalen Walker so bad. I wanted Jalen Walker so bad because he fills holes, guys. He fills holes. He can play off ball. He can play edge. He can do a little bit of both. Atlanta picking him, it sucks because I got to play him twice a year now, and he's a hometown kid. That was a Salisbury kid. That's 25, 30 minutes away from Charlotte. It would have made so much sense, especially with our history in the last year of getting guys, local guys, who quote unquote can produce. Yet to see that from Dollar Bill's owner, but you know, maybe he can put it together this upcoming year. Um, clouded. It's a crowded wide receiver room now, man. I love the Jimmy Horn Jr. pick at the end of the sixth. That was my favorite pick of the draft. I love Jimmy Horn Jr. Man. I love that guy. You know, it's just I like him. I love the Lathan Ransom pick from Ohio State.
That's
That kid's
yeah.
a baller. That kid is a
Jack
baller.
Sawyer, bro. All right. Yeah. The Jack Sawyer pick is huge. He's an Ohio
I,
State football guy. We already went through this. He loves football. He loves Ohio State football. Now he loves Steelers football because
yeah,
shoo,
somebody said just imagine Jack
shoo.
Sawyer has to go out there and he's got to wear yellow pants now. Shout out to Michigan.
And the Derek Harmon, that's crazy too.
Yeah, I'll say you guys attack the defense. I thought Shedure was there at 22 for you guys.
20,
Honestly,
21. He
at
was.
21, I thought it was there for you guys. It was set up. Yeah, man. We didn't get Cam Scatterbo like we. Oh, can you pull up our mock drafts? Let's see how close we were. At least position wise, we can see how close we were with our picks. Because I'm pretty sure I had us taking an edge, and then a running back or wide receiver in the third with the other third. I know I had a safety in the fourth. The Scourton, that's an interesting pick from Texas A&M. I love the Princely Umamaline. I love that pick. That kid was a stud at Florida. He was a stud at Ole Miss last year,
You
playing
had
in a six tech.
you had Jalen Walker.
Yep, that's an edge.
Oh, the other one. I didn't do it with
Oh,
Gunner. I'd have to
oh,
watch and get it all
it's
together.
all good. It's all good. Don't worry about it. Um, yeah, we got we got us a running back in the fourth. We got Trevor Etienne. As long as we can keep a Georgia player from behind the wheel, I think he will be successful here in Carolina. We got a very, I think it's a star-studded, very low-key star-studded running back room now. Um, Chuba Hubbard, Jonathan Brooks, Trevor Etienne. I think it's very clear that we're going to try to run the ball. We shored up the offensive line in free agency in between the tackles. I think we're gonna be a physical team this year, guys. Look out for the Panthers. We're coming for ye. Coming for ye. Hey, only team to take the two teams that were in the Super Bowl down to the last possession last year. And we did it in back to back weeks. Did it in back to back weeks. And we beat the Falcons to knock them out. But I'm just saying. I like what we're building over there. Um,
I like the Will Howard pick late.
does Will Howard get meaningful reps in a Pittsburgh Steelers uniform next year, buddy?
He could compete with Mason Rudolph.
Okay.
That's the only other guy on the roster right now.
Yeah. I mean, look at it like this. You guys went heavy Big Ten.
Mm-hmm.
You guys went heavy Big Ten. You had six of your seven picks were Big Ten guys.
Phew.
Oregon, Iowa, Ohio State, Washington.
Oh
And
yeah.
then you went a little Maction with Dante Kent from Central Michigan. So, um, hey, I'm gonna give a shout out also to the Seattle Seahawks. I think the Seattle Seahawks had a very good draft. Um, I
Elijah
love.
Arroyo, great
Oh,
pick.
great pick, great pick. Nick, you got Nick Emanwari, the third pick of the second round, and I know for a fact Josh Brittle loved that pick. I know for a fact Josh Brittle loved that pick. He probably also liked the Damian Martinez early in the seventh. Early in the seventh. Um, my who's your biggest loser, Dumb Booby?
Biggest loser,
If you had to nail a loser, who would you nail this year?
the Saints. There
Why you
was a
got the Saints, man?
quarterback there at 9. You need a quarterback. It's a quarterback league. I feel like Mel Kiper.
is that where you think Shedure should have went? Do you think the
I think at least
Tyler Schaff in the second round wasn't worthy?
no.
Second round pick 8.
No, you either trade up and get a guy or you take your guy that's available then. I don't think waiting the way they did, I don't think they did that, played that very well at 9. Um, the Lions, I like Ratledge. Uh, Tyleek Williams, I think is, we'll
Thought it
see.
was a reach. Thought it
Yeah,
was a reach for Tyleek Williams at the end of the first there. Don't get me wrong, he is a mass. That's just what we'll say about Tyleek Williams. 6'3", 334. Um, I don't think I would have picked him in the first though. Even at the end of the first, you know,
the Bengals first round pick was interesting. He's definitely raw. I would think like a couple years out of him. Maybe that's Hendrickson's replacement after this year. They can make a deal and get, I don't know. But
man, I'm gonna call it. I'll say this. I was not a fan of the Bears' first round pick. Colston Loveland at 10. It just seemed like an extreme reach. Um, he wasn't even tight end one. I understand. I understand it. Don't get me wrong. I do understand it. I get it. He's quicker than Warren. Um, he's not gonna block though. I don't think he can block personally. I understand going to Michigan, being a tight end at Michigan, he probably did block, but I don't know, man. I feel like Tyler Warren and that Bears offense with Ben Johnson, you know, he might
uh,
be looking at Loveland like Sam Laporta. I
yeah,
don't know.
I'm
Like
not
that could
sold
be
with
what it
Luther
is.
Burden in the second round.
I'd have to see who was still on the board as far as a receiver went to see if he was, a stretch. Like I said though, man, Luther Burden coming into last year, he was wide receiver one on all the mocks and all the draft talk. He was wide receiver one. So after that though, I don't think they had anything of noteworthy. Like ooh man, that's a good pick. Shamar Turner in the second at the end of the second. That's a solid pick, but um, I feel like the Bears just the Bears are an interesting team. Um, the Broncos as well. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I could they be going all in on Bo Nix and throwing all the eggs in one basket too soon? Could be. I don't know. Didn't really get him too much help on the offensive side of the ball. I feel like they needed a couple more playmakers. RJ Harvey from UCF, he had a very, very productive career. If you go back and look, 1,400 yards rushing the last 2 years, which is, pretty unheard of nowadays. But outside of him, I didn't like the Jade Barron pick. I don't think you need another corner. I think that's a full cornerback room over there. Um, so
Trying to find who is available.
shout out to Siobhan Revel Jr. It sucks that you went to the Dallas Cowboys and I have to, see you with that star on your helmet, but at least you get every February off for the rest of your career. So hats off to you, pal.
Till you get traded.
Yeah, yeah, demand that trade quick, buddy. Also, if you're the Kansas City Chiefs, why are you making a deal with the Philadelphia Eagles?
Yeah, didn't they just cook you?
They just cooked your
Can't
entire
beat them,
plate.
join them, cuz.
I and then they go up to get the best linebacker in the draft because the Philadelphia Eagles need more defense, right? They need another freak out there. You put
Alright,
N'Kobe Dean,
so
N'Kobe Dean, Jahad Campbell, and Zach Bond in behind Jalen Carter and whoever you want to put on the deal. Get us, give them the Super Bowl already, guys.
bro, let's just get to it. Shedure Sanders. What happened, man?
Well, the conspiracy theorist in me wants to say,
Alright, timeout, pause, just listen. I want you to listen.
Job in Cleveland, and I think he's going to play there for a long time and be a
who
really
am I
good
listening
player.
to?
I'm simply
Matt
saying
McChesney.
right now, if I'm him, I'm taking this opportunity to make football first. Because when I heard about him in the meetings, and this is coming from inside NFL people too, like front office types, keep in mind that I, kind of know a lot of people. So I started making some phone calls and questioning, like, okay, is this just anonymous hate, or were his meetings really that bad? And what I heard was his whiteboard work. Like he struggled lining up the offense correctly in anything but spread sets, and he couldn't identify defenses, and he doesn't know pass protections, and he's just like he's playing checkers instead of chess. If you don't ever put your quarterback in professional situations under center, moving the pocket and sprint and bootleg, multiple tight ends on the field, running zone and scissor concepts, fullback on the field, again, professional stack concepts, lots of motion patterns, the ability to drain the clock, the ability to run the ball, changing the play at the line of scrimmage, understanding that he's responsible for the pass protection, not the offensive line. The offensive line will do what you tell it to do. Their job is to protect you. Your job is to protect you.
Facts.
Walking in and being able to line up 11 3x1 tight end, ISO left, close bunch right, nasty, under Sam Stack, strong safety, force cover, one fence man. Where's the squeeze gap? How do we run Gator? How do we run Sally? This all needs to happen pre-snap. You know what I'm saying?
I'd like you to
Busting it out,
pause
telling everybody
right
what
quick.
it is.
Shout out Matt McChesney. I love, what 6.1 or 614 660. Yeah, man, awesome dude. Love his content. One, I've been watching a lot of centers in the last couple of years. Literally set up every protection. Mainly the good ones, like Linderbaum, the Kelseys, the Cam Jurgens of the world. They're out there telling their offensive line what to do. No,
Those are the one-offs though.
I understand, but
You ain't gonna roll in most places with those guys to do
for
that.
sure, for sure. As far as He doesn't know stuff other than spread.
You've been talking about that.
What do 90% of offenses in the NFL, what are they?
Spread.
What are they, bro? They're spread.
But you
So,
still got to be able to get under center. That's the other thing.
oh,
You
of
have
course,
to.
you do. You do. You do.
Even
But most
Kyler
of the time,
Murray,
when
Lamar
we're
Jackson.
when we're under center, what are we in? We're in ace. We're in ace. It's 11 or 12 personnel, one tight
Agreed.
end, two tight ends max. We're not in anything that's foreign. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna put that out there. All right. Um, I want to hear how the other guys did and what they did in their meetings because if we're asking Tyler Schaff, who is a Brian Brom disciple, mind you, let me tell you what Brian Brom does out there at Louisville. In case you didn't know, they throw the ball 40 times a game. Um, just letting you guys know. Um, Tyler Shaw played 7 years of college football, ladies and gentlemen. He was in the same recruiting class as Trevor Lawrence. Tyler Shaw is about to be the last person to ever be drafted born in 1999 or in the 90s period. Okay? Because there's nobody that plays college football anymore that was born in the 90s. Okay? Riley Dunbar.
Almost. What?
Riley Dunbar. If I put up player A and told you that he threw for 7,000 yards over 7 years and had a 500 win-loss record, and then I give you player B who threw for 14,000 yards at two different schools, and both schools that he went to went from 2 game winning seasons to 10 his first year at Jackson State, and then should have won 6-7 his first year at Colorado. Who you gonna pick, bro? Be straightforward with me.
Bro, I thought he was coming off the board at 9.
Yeah, that's why, and that's why I'm picking on the Saints specifically.
I know.
It's because like,
I
hey man,
agree.
this is a fumble. This is the league fumbling. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this one out there too. If the NFL thought,
Bro, hold
like,
on, time
if
out.
we if and I say the NFL as a broad spectrum, not the NFL from the head office, the league
Bro.
office call. If the NFL thinks that the situation that happened this weekend with Shedure Sanders will deter the way that he acts, I have a news flash for you. I got a bulletin board for you. He is going to, in the first preseason game he plays in that first touchdown, he's going to look dead in the camera and go just like this. Just like this. He's going to throw the watch up. It's
No,
not
for
going to
sure.
deter anything, bro. It's not. If anything, it'll probably make him work harder because now he's got to prove himself. And at the end of the day, that's a guy with Deion Sanders genes. Like, the guy that we widely consider the greatest defensive back to ever grace a football field. Pretty sure he knows how to work hard. And I can't believe that a coach's son, and yeah, you know, that could be a problem too. Like, he's only played for his dad. I mean, hey, I wish I could only play for my dad.
Chad Pennington went 18th.
Chad Pennington. You know who Chad Pennington threw the ball to, dumb booby?
Kerry Collins went 5th. Brady Quinn went 22nd.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, these were quote. I ain't even gonna throw Kerry Collins under the bus because Kerry
Jeff
Collins
George
went to the
number 1
Kerry,
overall. JP Lossman 22nd.
Kerry Collins went to the expansion Carolina Panthers. That was the
Tommy
first pick
Maddox went 25th. Sorry.
out of the Arena League. Tommy Maddox was an Arena League MVP.
David Carr, first.
To the expansion team Texans in 03. Like, where did Mark Brunell go? Mark Brunell
Couch
was the
went first. McCown went
Heisman
12.
winner. Tim Couch, Heisman winner at Nebraska, 2000 or 99. You know what all of these guys got in common though?
What?
That's all I'm gonna do. I'm just throw that up there.
They all stink.
Go do your research. JP Lossman from Tulane. Trash ass Tulane.
Jamarcus
Colorado.
Russell.
The University of Colorado had the most wide receivers selected in the draft.
Ryan Leaf.
The guy that finished third in the Heisman. Like, Ryan Leaf was a can't miss prospect because he was 6'5", 220 throwing the ball back in the 90s. Like, that's what he was the prototypical pro quarterback.
It's just crazy to me that all those guys go as high as they did and this dude falls the way he did. That's what's crazy to me.
My
it's
thing
Deion's son that we decide, we're not going to overdraft a quarterback. This shit's weird, bro.
Tim Tebow. Where didn't Tebow go in the second?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Was that not a reach? Mark Sanchez.
Josh
was
Rosen.
the first. Josh Rosen. Like, guys, that's what Tyler Schaff is going to be, Josh Rosen. I give him 3 years. Give him 3 years in this NFL.
Dan Jones. I don't know. It's just this shit's wild to me. I don't know, again, why all of a sudden the NFL decided, that's what we're going to do. We're going to decide to not overdraft quarterbacks on Deion's son. And then the piece of shit kid who prank called him, don't even fucking get me started with that.
Yeah, bro.
That kid needs beat up.
I would like to say this. I'd like to say this for the record.
Man.
If I was on the coaching staff of the Atlanta Falcons, I would literally look at them and say, "Hey guys, it's he's got to go. I can't work with that guy." Respectfully, if we're leaving stuff open and confidential, information's getting leaked because Dad left his iPad open and the kid saw Shedure's number. That's the report that's happened. That's how he got the number. Was Dad's iPad was open and he took a picture of Shedure's number. Guys, I'm gonna call bullshit, 1, and 2. The Olbrichs need their ass whooped collectively, father and son. I have an idea for all of the people out there who want the social media boxers that love the Logan Pauls. So I get Deion and Shedure versus the Olbrichs and do a tag team fight with them. Like a 2v2.
Deion Jr.
Oh yeah, let Bucky do it. Ooh, let Bucky do it. Yeah, let Bucky do it. Deion can be in the corner. Deion's like Roger Mayweather now. Let him just be in the corner. Yeah, remember I told you got the whoop whoop and then go. You're not even listening to it. You seen that clip of Roger Mayweather talking to Floyd and Floyd's just looking off in the distance. He's like, "You're not even listening to what I'm saying." He said, "Yeah, you told me I got to whoop whoop and then move." He goes, "Exactly. That's what you got to do." Nah, man. I think that not the NFL as a whole, from the league office, but I do believe that people kept receipts on what Deion said. And that was in the back of their head. I think that was in the back of their
there
head.
was an interview also with Dayball where he was kind of expected to learn something and put something together mentally and have some things prepared, and he didn't. And he
All respect, I would not want to play for the New York Giants either, brother.
no, I
I'm not
hear
even
you.
gonna hold
I
you.
hear
I'm not
you.
even gonna hold you, brother.
I hear
Like,
you, but like that, those things get around,
for
and
sure, for
coaches
sure.
don't
I
like.
don't.
All right, then don't take the interview. I'm pretty sure you can decline an interview. You don't gotta
Well,
go.
and I think they're making it a big deal that he didn't compete at the combine. You know, he didn't do nothing at the Shrine Bowl.
I'm not gonna
Man,
lie.
look,
If you watch the some of that footage with Cam and him, Cam does spin the ball a little different.
Cam throws more hips. Cam Ward's going to be one of the better number one overall picks, I think, if they can continue to build an offensive line in front of them. Um, I like just the swagger he's got personally. I would love that guy. It's a very quiet, humble, but if you test him, then it comes out. Like it
Yeah,
comes out like I'm the shit. Like you better get it together, because I can really do this. And I that's what I like about Cam Ward. And you could tell he puts the work in. Um, yeah. Hey man, I hope Shedeur. If Shedeur if there's one guy that could break the quarterback mold up there in the shit city known as Cleveland, I think it could be Shedeur Sanders. What if? What if that's what it is, Dun Booby? What if? You know how they got the jersey that's got the 29, 30 names on it? What if the last one on it is Sanders? And he goes out there and he just wins. You know what I mean? What if he does? What if he does? What if he does? He defies the odds.
that would be. I mean, he could.
As a Steelers fan, you would hate it. I know you would. I know you'd
No,
hate it
I
as a
there's
Steelers
nothing
fan.
that there's never anything that the Browns being successful makes me go, "Oh, yeah, we should do that." You know what I mean? So there's that piece to it. But then there's also a piece to it for me that is just like that's literally fucking humanly impossible for the Browns to be successful. So there's a reach there. I think that there's some Baker Mayfield stuff that happens. I think that he's there.
He's there for his rookie contract, 3
Or you
years.
see something like the kid from New England. Uh,
Jimmy G has a
no,
good year. They trade
he
him
had a
off.
good game the last game of the season.
Oh, Joe Milton.
Yep, Joe Milton. He Joe Milton the situation. And they get some draft capital there. I think you'll see. I think there's also some interesting things that are going to go on with the quarterback situation in Atlanta, right? There's still some things that need
Bud,
figured out down there.
they got two. You got Kirk Cousins. You're giving 45 mil to, and you got Penix, who down the stretch looked like a starter, looked like
Yeah.
a really good quarterback. You know,
I think he was the most pro ready guy last year, so I think it'll be
easily,
interesting.
easily.
It'll be
I
interesting
just
going forward, definitely.
we I could sit here and criticize the five quarterbacks that went ahead of Shedeur Sanders. You know, I Tyler Schaff in the second round with the eighth or ninth pick in the second round was just blasphemy. It was blasphemy. Like prime Stephen A. Smith. Like blasphemous. It was terrible. Terrible pick.
Terrible.
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 You know, all due respect to the to the Seattle Seahawks, you guys picked a running back at quarterback. Like respectfully, Jalen Milrow. Jalen Milrow. I heard a report that said if Jalen Milrow went back to Alabama, all the skill guys were gonna transfer.
That's insane.
You know, like, and this is he had a year under. under the same guy who made Michael Penix a star. He made him a pro. Like that's one thing too. Like, yeah, he can move. I think he's Jalen Hurts without half of the throwing ability personally. Because
Who?
I mean, we saw Jalen Milroe.
Oh yeah.
I think he's Hurts with half of the throwing ability coming out. Um, you know, that's why I say Lincoln Riley is the quarterback guru. Guy turned Jalen Hurts into a starter. You know what I mean? Just throwing that out there.
Oh yeah.
Um, it's just Dylan Gabriel. I've seen what short left-handed Hawaiian quarterbacks do in the NFL. They almost die. They almost die, guys. I, I oh, I just just ah Jackson Dart, Jackson Dart, Jackson Dart. The only guy I saw going above Shedure was Jackson Dart.
That's
And I
crazy.
think it's because he has the outside of Cam Ward. I think he's got the highest ceiling because he can run. Like he's mobile. He's probably outside of Milroe, the second most mobile guy in the draft. Maybe Will Howard. Howard's got some wheels too. People forget Howard at Kansas State was a monster running the ball downhill. But you know, I think that's a reach at 25. You probably could have got him in the second. You didn't have to trade back into the first to get him, but those five guys, outside of Cam Ward, Cam Ward was the easily the number one overall pick, I think, this year. Carter going 3 to the Giants. Did you think that was a big deal? What did you think, man?
The D line there is insane. I mean,
That's
and in that division with Philly twice a year, you gotta be. So they have
Matt
to
Miller.
compete.
Matt Miller from ESPN pro comped him to Micah Parsons,
Yeah, that's very,
and
very, very good. Good comp,
oh,
in my
I
opinion.
I know I know we're probably getting a little off topic here. Um, hey, dumb booby,
What's up,
you see who's got the sticks up there? The 1-1 up there at Penn State now. Now that Abdul's gone,
LeVar Arrington?
LeVar Arrington Jr.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Now, LeVar Arrington, for the people who don't know, he was a linebacker for Penn State back in the day. I want to say the late '90s, mid to late '90s. I think he came out in '98 was when he got drafted. Um, LeVar Arrington, for you guys who don't know, was 6'4", 250, an absolute freak of nature for the time period. His son is every bit the same fucking athlete and just looks the part as his dad did. I give it a couple years. I think he's got 2 years before he's draft eligible. He's gonna be a top 5 pick. I'll go ahead and stamp that one.
You think?
I'll go ahead and stamp that one, guys. But yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, Panthers. If I had to give us a grade on the draft this year, I'm gonna give the Panthers a. I'm gonna give us a B. I'm gonna give us a B. I'm gonna go B. Um, I love a couple of the picks. I love the Princely Yamamaline. Like I said, I love Lathan Ransom, and I love Jimmy Horn Jr. Um, Another point on Shedore Sanders. Colorado had the most wide receivers drafted this year from a school. Um, I don't know. I guess the ball just fell out of the sky like a gift from God to every single one of those guys.
Bro, but who's the
What
quarterback? Who's the quarterback in Texas when they had the most?
do you mean?
Quinn Ewers.
Yeah, I mean, hey, speaking of, he's gonna get some PT this year, guaranteed PT for Quinny E
You
going
think?
down there to Miami. Tua's gonna get concussed at some point. What do you mean? Do I think
Jesus.
we're hey Tua concussion watch coming soon?
I
We're
agree.
gonna start we're gonna start counting the days in between concussions.
There's probably a Twitter account on there. Days
Probably.
since to his last concussion.
There's got to be.
But
Hey, I remember last year when they said he was learning Brazilian jiu-jitsu to learn
no,
how to
judo.
fall. Or
Judo.
judo, that's it, judo. He was learning judo out of how did that work?
Not so hot so far. Not
How
gonna
did that
lie.
work? He started fence posing in game 3 of the season or
Yeah,
some shit.
he was living in the south side of Chicago or some shit. It was wild.
Hey,
But hey, that wraps up the draft recap for me. You got anything else here, Avery?
I don't know, man. The Miami Heat, we suck at playing basketball. Thank God the season's over. Um, we could have saved these 4 games by just not winning at all in the play-in.
Ooh.
For the people who want to get rid of the play-in, you only want to get rid of the play-in because the Miami Heat are involved, and we are the most successful team in the history of the play-in. The only team
Lay
to
down.
go from 10 to 8 and make the playoffs. The only team from said play-in to ever make an NBA's finals. Shit, we're the only play-in team to make a Western Conference or a conference finals. So for the rest of you that want that taken out, tell your teams to get better, and maybe they can beat us in the play-in.
Sheesh.
Also,
I like the
um,
play-in tournament. I'm a fan.
LeBron James, not clutch. The only thing clutch about LeBron, his sports agency. Other than that, he tries to pass it too much. I'm done.
I'll catch y'all next time. I'm out.
Deuces.